If you think that the outside world is the root of all your problems, then you're in for a rude awakening. Because the world is not your problem. It's the way you look at it that is. Let's talk about it. Yeah, it's not your parents. It's not your circumstances. It's not the government. It's not the taxes. It's not the president. It's not the governor, not the mayor. It's you. It's the way you're looking at things. Story time. There's a story of two brothers. One of them ended up in prison and the other a big CEO of some big company, right? They were interviewed separately to find out exactly why they ended up where they ended up. The brother who ended up in prison said that his dad was a drunk, was a criminal, he beat his mom, and where else was he supposed to end up? You know, he had him as an example, and of course he was just going to end up exactly like he did. And the brother who was a CEO said that he ended up where he was because his dad was a drunk, a drug addict, would beat his mom, and he was a criminal. And he knew that he didn't want to end up like him, so he decided to do something with his life. At the end of the day, both of them had the same dad. They both grew up in the same household, they both grew up in the same way, and they both blamed the same parent for their circumstance. But they both had different perspectives. One had no choice but to be like his dad, while the other made the choice not to be like his dad. And so it's not the external that mattered, it's the way they perceived it that mattered. So then what could be done about all this? Well, here's what I recommend. If you are dealing with a situation in your life that is causing you pain, that is causing you grief, that is holding you back, take a look at the situation and ask yourself, what are some of the ideas, what are some of the beliefs that I have about this that is causing me to see it in a negative light? And then ask yourself, how can this benefit me? How can this help me? If this is a situation that was designed to help me grow, how? In what way am I supposed to grow? What am I missing here? And look, I dealt with this personally in my life. I grew up with a stepdad that was drunk, aggressive, violent, a cheater, a liar, a manipulator, all of the above. Never once took the time to show me that he cared in any way or even bothered teaching me anything. If I were to look at it from the perspective that my stepdad would get everything that he wanted, so when I grow up, if I want to get what I want, I have to force myself onto people. I have to be violent, I have to be angry, and I have to be loud so that I can be heard. Then that's how I would have been as an adult. I would have learned that. But instead, it taught me to be present, to be alert, to be aware, to pay attention, to read body language, and to be able to sense when things were not right. And it also taught me everything that I did not want to be as a parent. I didn't want to be neglectful, I didn't want to be cold, I didn't want to be hard or cruel. So I promised myself as a kid that I was going to grow up not to drink, not to be a liar, not to be a cheater, not to be a manipulator, and to be the best dad that I could possibly be. Whether I'm a good dad or not, that's not for me to say. Only my children can tell you that. Now I'll leave you with this, because that story that I just told you is a perfect example that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I'm gonna say that again. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. So see if you can change your point of view, your perspective on a specific situation, and see if it doesn't change for you.